I'm Shashwat. I hope you are having a really great day. During COVID, I made a short documentary film which went on to win several awards. This documentary, Postcards to the Unknown Child, can be watched by clicking on the link above. In this short tutorial, I'll walk you through the process on how the postcards were made. Tuk Tuk is a reporter who was sent to investigate strange happenings in Wuhan. Little did he know that he is going to be stuck in another country in the middle of the worst pandemic ever. In the previous postcards, Tuk Tuk was investigating the Wuhan markets when he realized that his life was in a terrible danger. Somehow, he was safely able to escape from that place. It's safe to assume that he is not going to return there anytime soon. That investigation is over. Soon, Tuk Tuk hears rumors about strange happenings in a warehouse outside of the city. No one is allowed to go there, and any who dares has never been heard of ever again. Yet Tuk Tuk dares to go and have a look, and was somehow able to sneak into a warehouse. And what he found there shocked him to the core. Now, let's have a look behind the scene. This is the scene of postcard number 3. So this is the warehouse scene. We have a new character here. We have our main character over here. We have some towers, electrical towers here. So this is the background to emulate a warehouse. Some boxes, a ramp, we have this exhausts here, this electric box over there, a wire mesh hanging from the top. This is how it will look like from the camera. We have this cage in the front. So we have our background element. This entire thing is our background elements. We have these overhead lamps. And then we have the mid-ground. The mid-ground is divided into 3 parts. There is first the mid-ground background, which is the background towers. Then we have the mid-ground, which is these boxes and cans over here. Then we have the mid-ground foreground, which are these towers. These are these foreground towers. We have our rhinoceros beetle here. He also has this headgear attached to him. Some kind of device for testing effects, whatever is happening here. This is a foreground background. This is a control booth. We have cables coming from this control booth. And then this is the foreground, and we have this is the cage. It's a very simple cage. This is how it looks in the render. Now let's look at the lights. First we have these overhead lamps. They're basically an area light and a spotlight. Then we have these control panel lights. These are basically for effect. Once I switch on the volumetrics, you will see how it looks like. Then we have the tower lights. These are basically lights that are emitting from these discs here and lighting up this rhinoceros beetle. His name is Jodu. Then we have lights on Jodu. Basically, these are fill lights to just fill in the shadow area. Then we have the Tuk Tuk lights. So we have one key light over here. There's an area plane over here. And there's one light that's just sort of lighting. It's a spotlight. This is the fill light. Just lighting up, just giving some highlights in the shadow area. And this is how all these lights look like when I switch on the volumetrics. And as I have said before, volumetrics there just glues everything together. This is how it looks like in Blender, and I render this out in Fusion for further compositing. So this is our Fusion composition. This is our background. I have rendered this in layers. So this is our background. These are boxes in the background. This is the middle ground. This is the middle ground of the middle ground. I have Jodo. Then I have the lamps on top of him. Then I have the mid-ground background. I have the control panel over here. And this is what it looks like when I merge them all together. Now it is pretty dark because this is OpenEXR. So you need to color correct it. I have also rendered out a Z depth because as you see, I haven't rendered it with depth of field because I had to composite them in the post. So I had to render Z depth separately. Next, I have added these sparks here. There's sparks happening in this entire system. And then I have added our main character, Tuk Tuk, here. And then I have also added some more sparks, this time a bit closer. And then I've added the cage, color corrected it, same color correction. I'll give it some defocus so that the focus is over this area where all our characters are going to be. This is how it looks like merged. Now I have added the volume. I have rendered the volume separately. I've color corrected this as well, and as you can see over here, these are some glaring bright spots. So I just masked them out. Then I have added some smoke element and give it a displacement. So you can see over here. This is without displacement and this is with displacement. If you have ever looked at a bonfire, you can see that there is this heat distortion happening at the edges. This is there to simulate that same effect. Next, I have some more smoke elements. And then a little bit final color correction because this too is a little bright, so I just dimmed it down a little bit, brightened up our character slightly. Then I added some glow and I added some film grain, some chromatic aberration. Then I have given it some vignetting. I take the render from this Fusion composition to on one photo raw. It's the same process as before. I add some grunge texture, I color correct it, I add some vignette, and lastly it took it to affinity for finishing. I add stamps, text, and then this is the final result. Thanks for watching. I'll be uploading the other postcard soon. Until then, see you.